Well, the Bears seem to be the leader in the clubhouse for one of the absolute top targets in the college basketball transfer portal. This is Locked On Baylor.
You are Locked On Baylor, your daily podcast on the Baylor Bears. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
The breaking news last night comes from Jeff Goodman of the Field of 68. He is a guy who is really plugged into what's going on here at Baylor. I know we meme him a lot. We like to make fun of him, but if it's something Baylor basketball related and it's coming from Goodman or Rothstein, it's pretty legit. And he tweets out last night, Baylor has emerged as the front runner to land Duke transfer Jeremy Roach, according to a source. Roach averaged 14 points per game this past season, as well as 3 assists. That is huge news. Huge for Baylor. First off, Jeremy Roach is, arguably the biggest name in the transfer portal. Certainly at the guard position. Absolutely. And he is a guy who's declared for the NBA draft, but his draft stock is not terrific. A lot of experts expect him to come back and play another year of college basketball, but of course has entered the portal for his 5th and final year of eligibility and is shopping around, seeing what's out there. And apparently Baylor is the front runner. Jeff Goodman also went on to say in this tweet, would be a perfect addition for Scott Drew, a proven veteran, high character guard who can put points on the board. What else do you need? What else do you need? I'm sitting here thinking, I wonder how Baylor's going to attack guard in the transfer portal, because what they really need is a backup point guard, and they haven't had that the last 3 seasons, and no coincidence, they haven't made it past the round of 32 in those 3 seasons. That was one of the big follies that they had come March, was they didn't have a second, not just a ball handler, but a guy who can run an offense. And now, if they are the front runner and do get Jeremy Roach, then you have a 5-star in Rob Wright as your second point guard, and being an understudy to one of the best point guards in America, an all ACC guy in Jeremy Roach. That in and of itself is just fantastic, man. Fantastic. And he averages over 14 a game, pretty good for a point guard, as well as he shoots at 43% from 3. 43%. This dude's a stone cold killer from the outside and is efficient with it too. He's not one of those chucks, okay? He's taking them when it matters, and he's making it a lot of the time. This could be a humongous get for Baylor, and you could be talking about an embarrassment of riches in the backcourt at least. But I went to his NBA draft profile just to see kind of what this could be, what this could look like in terms of whether he's going to get picked. And this is from the NBA Draft Room, which is very good at these kinds of things. And they comp him to Kyle Lowry, which if you've seen his game at Duke, you're like, that makes total sense. But by that same token, he's not explosively athletic. And so because of that, he is picked or projected as a 2nd round pick. And to me and to most guys, that's not good enough when you have a year of eligibility to come back and try to improve that draft stock. But going with another few things the NBA Draft Room talks about, he scores well from mid-range and in the lane. He uses floaters, a creative finisher, can finish with either hand, solid frame. And one thing they talk about in here, which you see if you watch Duke games, you'll know what I'm talking about. And that is that he is a committed defender. Like he really gets into the defense. You know how we've all hated for years, well, some of you have hated for years that Duke would slap the floor to get a big defensive stop. That's Jeremy Roach in a nutshell, man. Like, he is a bulldog defender who is also an incredibly efficient offensive player. I could not think of a better fit for Baylor than him, because I'm thinking, Rob Wright coming in, they're going to look at backup point guard to back him up. And, who are you even going to go after? Like, who is going to want to back up a freshman, no matter how good the program is, right? Well, that's playing chess. Scott Drew is playing checkers. He's like, I've got one of the best point guards in the country. He's young. He's unproven at this level. How about I get someone who is proven at this level and is also one of the best point guards in the country? And we seem to be on the precipice of that. Again, if Goodman's reporting it from a Baylor basketball standpoint, That's pretty good authority. Like and look, he didn't say Jeremy Roach is committed or Jeremy Roach has told me he's going to commit. He says Baylor seems to be the front runner. And that means that this staff is feeling good about where they're at with Jeremy Roach. But talk about a name out of left field, man. It kind of reminds me of in football this year when Malik Murphy all of a sudden was taking a visit to campus. We don't know if he ever did. But like that was like, whoa, that's way out of left field. Malik Murphy was a promising backup quarterback. This is an all ACC starting point guard who was one of the best at his position in the whole country. And now he's apparently, tiptoeing towards Scott Drew's door to commit and come play for the Bears. This could be one of the best backcourts Baylor's ever had. And we've had a couple of really good ones, especially in these last few years. But if you're able to get him in through the door, then you're talking about Jeremy Roach with a 5-star from Montverde to back him up. You've also got Jay Nunn, a guy who is a Big 12 Player of the Week and had a tremendous stretch in the middle of the conference season, had some game-winning buckets for you. Good defender. That's your 2-guard. Oh, and you also have another 2-guard in VJ Edgecombe, a top 5 player in America right now, 5-star guy. This would make a deep and loaded backcourt. You still have some issues to resolve in the front court, but when you look at a guy like Igor Milicic, who I'm going to talk about in a few minutes in the next segment, or someone like a Cliff Amori or a Jonas Adu, like you've got options there. And if you're able to get 1 or 2 of those 3 guys to go along with a Roach in this backcourt, that's a scary good basketball team, man. Scary good. So we're going to have to track this into the weekend. But Jeremy Roach, Baylor is the front runner for Jeremy Roach. What a massive, massive get that would be. How do you feel about this? Do you feel this is realistic? And how big would this be for Baylor? Drop that down in the comments below. But boy, am I excited. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. We really appreciate that. And if you want to keep up to date on all the Baylor sports news, be sure to give us a like and ring the notification bell, because we are your first listen today and every day. We are your exclusive home for nothing but Baylor sports content 5 days a week that's not coming straight from the university. Be sure to follow us here on YouTube and also wherever you get your podcasts, and on Twitter as well at Locked On Baylor. Thanks so much again. Have a good one. And sick 'em.